Well, Gordon, let's start with you on that performance by Liverpool, a 5-2 win for them. The fact that they were 5-0 up and Roma pegged it back to 5-2 means that it's taken a little bit of the gloss off the result. When the dust settles, though, how impressive was it?
Well, when dust settles, we've seen one of the all-time classic games of football where a once-in-a-lifetime performance with a guy you could probably say is up there with the top players at the moment. Absolutely phenomenal. Disappointing when he went off. Yeah. Was it 5-0 when he went off?
Yeah.
And the Roma players must have been saying, thank goodness that guy's went off. I think at this moment in time, when they went to the dressing room, I think there'll be a disappointment there. I think there'll be a disappointment, but when they gather together tomorrow morning, they'll say to each other, what a good job we've done. Yeah. What a terrific, terrific performance. Because what they've gave people, and us, we're no Liverpool supporters, but we were on the night, they've gave us memories, and that's what you want as a footballer, to give memories to your supporters, and that's what's happened tonight.
Yeah.
5-2 enough?
Yeah.
Yeah? I
think especially when you look at the goals, we was talking about them and...
Is your chair very low, by the way?
I don't know.
Is it really short?
No. Was it? We was talking about the goals that they conceded and people talking about managing the game, and I was all for Liverpool going and getting another one, just totally hammering them. And then when you look at this, it was lack of concentration. You know, they had 8 men behind the ball, we saw it. And it was a situation where Dzeko, the way he pulled off of Lovren, it was poor concentration on his part. And then they've got one, they've hit it straight, and it's hit James Milner, it's awkward. And they've conceded the goals like that. It wasn't like a total collapse in
what you're finding cliches over the next 24 hours, they should have managed the game, they should have sat back, they should have done this, they should have went back there. OK, I can see the point. If they've left 2 for 2 at the back, 1 for 1 at the back, and there's breakaways. Never happened like that. Until that goal went in, there was no threat whatsoever. And we spotted there that when they had the ball, Roma, there was 8 Liverpool players behind the ball. So you're 5-0 up, the ball's over there. The only thing they didn't do at that point, Liverpool, was the first time of the night was somebody never went and closed somebody down. But then again, as a defender, you've got to say, right, OK, we're not closing down, so where's the threat? It's got to be in behind me now.
Absolutely.
So all the defender needs to do is take 2 steps back the way, see it off, and it's still 5-0. Because that goal gave them the impetus to go. And it kind of rocked Liverpool a bit, and they went, oh, just a second, we were 5-0 up here. But, you know, it wasn't about chucking men. They went forward and disciplined and got there and still making chances. So I'm not going to buy the cliches, but we should have managed this. And even the goal, the second one, I think they've got 9 bodies behind the ball again there. So it wasn't like breakaways and being silly and 3 midfield players running on. It never happened that way.
And of course, one of the other easy conclusions to draw from the game is that without Mohamed Salah, Liverpool 2-0 down. With Mohamed Salah, Liverpool 5-0 up. What was it about him?
Well, I feel like Gordon there, like he said there, it was just for the... If you're taking him off so he can get a round of applause from the fans, I can't understand it really, because what you can do is...
stop him getting injured?
Well, maybe, but like he doesn't need to play until that next game. He could play in this 90 minutes. I would have fancied him to nick maybe...
I think he could have played for another 2 hours, the way he was feeling.
He could have probably nicked another couple.
He's on a position that not many players ever get to in their careers when they're literally untouchable and they do not feel tired at any time. I felt sorry for Danny Ings, because when you'd seen Danny Ings and Klopp saying to him, I want you to go on, and you can see Danny going, really? Are you sure? How am I going to make this any better? A good player that Danny is, you could see him going, are you really sure about putting me on here?
It was that right side, what Mo Salah, you know, the way he was torturing that centre half, because he didn't want to come out to him. And it was a ball that Liverpool could have played all night, especially in the second half. You saw for Firmino's goal, the centre half didn't know what to do. He stood him up, he squared him up, went inside. I think that there was another
do you know what they did was a bit different here? Again, we spotted there that usually when you're playing 3 centre-halves, especially in Italy, you've got your 3 centre-half, you're probably playing against 1 striker. So one can go and close him, the other one can come for the side of him, or maximum 2. Do you know Liverpool, after half an hour or 35 minutes, went, the 3 up front played against A3. And the 2 wing-backs are looking in going, that looks a bit difficult. You know? And the boy, Jesus. Jesus. He had to come... Salah was playing from inside to out, and then he got to the point, I'm not following you.
Not going, no.
So it was really good that they went, and it spooked the three centre-halves of Liverpool by playing 3 against 3, with Mane coming in playing against 1, and it showed that they didn't have much pace.
No.
They were okay when they've got cover, but they had no cover at any time to deal with one for ones.
No, none at all.
So it was really interesting.
Will
A great
they do
game
it
of football.
differently in Rome, do you think?
Well, they'll not play with 3 centre-halves again. That's got to get
Yeah,
back.
they went to 4 at the end of it. I think they went to 4.
They just played with back 4.
Yeah, I think that if they, they're going to have to go at Liverpool, and if they do that at Liverpool, this play into Liverpool's hands. I believe that Liverpool should be very, very happy. I totally agree with Gordon that they will be a little bit disappointed because 5-0, it just sounds better than 5-2. But the fact is, when you look back at that, you think to yourself, I'm not really going to worry too much about it. I'm not going to take them for granted. But what we done to them tonight, we've got to be erring on that side of it. Go on the confidence side, not the negative side.
We've watched a lot of football games together over the years that we've been working with each other. I've not seen you enjoy an individual performance as much as you enjoyed Mohamed Salah's, particularly in the first half of that game.
I think it's just because of the weight of expectation that's on him. And, you go into all the games thinking, is he going to score tonight? Is he going to score? And he has again. And the thing is that the goal what he scored tonight, the first one especially, was just, you think to yourself, have they been watching him? Because, they know him. You know what I mean? It's the team he used to play for. And it's almost like Jesus let him come in on that side.
Do you think because they knew him, they didn't want to get too close to him?
Well, maybe.
And then just kind of go back into, I'll keep backing off and hope he hits past the post or something.
Exactly. But the thing, if you're going to give somebody who's in that purple patch, in that much of a purple patch in the season, that time on his left foot to score, to hit the target at least, then he's going to probably hit the target. And what we saw was he put it in post stamp, really. It was literally in the top corner.
Both finishes for you?
The second one was even better because the run he made, the defender just didn't know where. Once Firmino got him in, he made a run off the defender here. So as soon as the defender tried to check where he was, he darted back inside. And then people say, wow, look how much space he's got. He made it with the pace. And then going at that pace, what I love about it is the way you have to slow yourself down so as you can get your feet sorted so you can just chip it over the keeper. Some forwards who are not that composed, they will still be going really quick and they'll try and finish it. They might try and hit it, but he's slowed down and then you just.
Am I right in saying they try and get over quickly?
Absolutely.
The players are
Instead of
I want to get over quickly.
Exactly.
I think
what
players
it is.
like yourself or him going, and that's their moment.
Yep.
That's what they've practiced for, and they kind of relax.
Yeah.
And go, here we are.
Well,
this is me. This is what I'm good
exactly.
at. With Mane, who's not been playing as magnificent, good player.
Yeah.
When he got into that position, it was like, I need to hit it.
I need to go. You saw that. You saw a rush how he seemed to rush that first one, went over the bar. And we've got to still remember, Mane had 2 great chances. I won't say the second one was so bad because he was leaning back and that, but the first one should have done a lot better with it. So when you consider what Liverpool are capable of doing, I honestly, it's just positivity has got to be the way forward.
Would we agree that for the first 25, 30 minutes, Roma weren't bad?
Yeah, I thought they could pass it around really well.
I think the difference is, because of the unfortunate circumstances, Ronaldo come on, and he started making runs without the ball and saying, right, I'm running by you. And his run off midfield players, it was affecting centre-halves. They were having to go back that extra 10 yards, and he wasn't getting it. If he wasn't getting it, somebody would step off.
Yeah.
I just thought his bravery without the ball.
Yeah.
And I think I counted maybe 4 times the time he come on till the half-time, he
Just
made
went.
their runs and changed it because it was a bit pedestrian for Liverpool. It was going back to side, trying to get in there. And he went, right, I'm off. I'm running without the ball. And it affected everybody in that back 3 or whatever you call it. And matter of fact, after 60 minutes, that back 3, if you asked anyone their name, what's your name? They wouldn't have known
their own name.
They were twisted. They didn't have a clue what was going on.
And they are up against, as we're saying, a player who is in absolutely fantastic form at the moment. Look, we're not suggesting he's going to win the Ballon d'Or, but is he now part of, because it's, it's been Messi and Ronaldo have dominated. Last player to win it before them was Kaká. And but is he in that conversation?
He's in that conversation, of course he is. And, with a World Cup coming up, with him, the form he's having, you'd like to think that he'd probably go into that World Cup and he'd still keep this form. Obviously, depending on what Liverpool do in the Champions League, if they do go forth and win it, then you have to say that, when you look at Cristiano Ronaldo, he's done the same. He's saved a lot of his best work for the Champions League and he's won the Ballon d'Or a couple of times. I'm not saying just for those reasons, but the fact is, if Mo Salah continues doing what he's doing, then I'd say if he can go on to win it, yes, then he's not only in the conversation, he's got a very, very good chance of winning it.
Well, what do you think, Gordon? Is he in that that stratosphere with Ronaldo and Messi?
Tonight, yeah. But you wouldn't be doing it for 4, 5, 6 years before you go up to that. But if you're talking about over the year,
I mean, that's what I mean in
if you're
terms
talking
of
about
thinking
over
about
the year,
Ballon
you're
d'Or
saying yes,
conversation.
because he's doing Messi things now. That doesn't sound right.
In a very neat and tidy way.
People know he's all left-footed.
Yeah.
But they can't stop him because he can move you one way and get there, and it's a shot back left to have a shot or a pass or something like that. But also, if you show him too much down there at the right, he will go by you, as you've seen later on, and made the goal that way.
Yeah.
You know, so he's got everything in his locker. His composure's good. His vision when he gets in, whether it is to finish, or when he got in there, you're going hat trick, hat trick, and he goes, no, here, my mate's getting it because he's in a better position. Off his right foot, that first pass.
Beautiful stuff.
So Mane gets the third goal for Liverpool in that instance. Then Firmino with a couple of goals. I know he's your favourite, so we'll talk about him in a second. But just while we're on the subject of Salah, do you think that is it about the way his game has changed, the way he's learned, the way the team works for him, or is he just one of those players who's in a golden streak?
He's playing with good players, but you've got to look at something that people can. And I'd love to be in there to find this out. The fitness regime, the sports science, because I'm saying, and James Milner's, I think, 32 now, and people go, oh, 32, legs are gone. Yeah. He was running in a semi-final by people getting back. So that was his initial fitness when he was a kid. He's always built that up. But what Liverpool have done, I think when Klopp went there, I may be wrong, might be right, that in the first 5 weeks, I think they had 4 hamstring injuries, where the actual intensity of training might have been too much. He might have done it on purpose to find out who can and who cannot stay with what I demand. Now, if you can't do it, you're not getting a game, because the players that are there have to be super fit. To close down, but when you get the ball back, still have enough energy to go beat people. You know that when you were closing people, if the ball come back again, go.
But then to have the composure and the technical ability that when you are playing at that intensity, then you've still got the technical ability when you're moving at pace to still make the right decisions, and they do that. That's why Firmino does it.
As you say, Milner at his age, which is not, for me, it's not a big, but to a lot of people, 32 is. You should be starting coaching there.
But you know about managing your career at those sort of later stages.
Well, you need to be playing with good players. That's for starters. You need to feed off the good players round about you. But okay, you have to work at your fitness early. You get that core fitness. Then through it, because people think at 21 that's as fit as you can be. Some sports science, no, you can't. You can be fitter. Gary McAllister, for instance, was fitter at 35 than he was at 25 because he worked hard, kept working, looked after himself, got better, and that's what's happened to Milner. And you can manage it, but it's hard work. There's no shortcuts. So all the hard work he's done since he was 17, James Milner, could end up being a Champions League winner.
That'd be brilliant.
And that's hard work. That's what it does for you. Obviously, you need the ability, but your ability, your mental strength, your concentration becomes better if you're fitter. And I think they just blew Roma away after half an hour. And it all started with Ronaldo making runs. And then they started playing and passing. Beautiful to watch.
Gary McAllister said he learnt all that from you, by the way, about managing himself to us. He does say that about managing to the end of his career. For you, you want to talk Roberto Firmino. I know. You always want to talk Roberto Firmino, so on you go. You've got
only because of his, his capabilities, his ability, what he brings to the team.
That's a good reason.
Absolutely. and when you look, I think it's Ronaldo's the only one who's got more goals and assists than something like I read something about that. But his consistency and the way he plays that number 9 role and drops in, and he'll pop up on the right, the left, he'll come from the mid. I just think he's just fantastic. He is somebody that I believe is what Liverpool got to make sure they've signed him up for a long time, because when you look at the way he plays in that number 9 role, I'm not sure who else can come in and replicate how he plays. I'm not sure who else can do that. He's the best I've seen at it, and I'm not seeing anyone else do it as well as he does.
You talk about managing the players' individual fitness as their careers progresses. What about the way that Liverpool have managed their fitness as the season has gone on? Because that's something that Klopp talked about around about Christmas time, criticised about resting some of the players, particularly in the Merseyside derby. Is he seeing the rewards for that now, that the players seem to be powering towards the end of the season?
They do seem stronger, so they've definitely done, and he's obviously learnt from his first season and start his first real Christmas period, where he must have thought, what is going on here? Especially like Strack said there, that he's trying to play with a pace and a tempo that, you know, where you don't get that rest, it's going to be very, very difficult for you. So he's learned, and like I also agree with the diet and the everything what they're doing, it must be absolutely phenomenal, because they look, at this stage of the season, we're 3-4 games left in the season, and they look as strong as I've seen them earlier on in the season, in and around Christmas time. They look just
That'd
as
be
strong.
interesting to find out the running stats now,
Oh, gosh,
closing
it'd be
down
amazing.
compared to what is in August.
Yeah.
Because that tonight was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it just blew Roma away. They were at that point going, no, this is for me. This is not for me.
When you saw Dzeko at the end there, you know, like you've seen Liverpool players are walking off and they're like, yeah, okay, we beat them 5-2. You see, Dzeko's like, he's distraught.
Yeah, well, he's got to face him again.
You know, he's got to play him
He's
again.
playing up front. He's okay.
He knows.
Imagine if you had 3 centre halves. You wouldn't sleep the night, would you? You're actually saying, hope he goes to back 4. And I'm the one he's leaving out for tactical reasons, not because I'm not very good.
Oh God! You would not want to be going up against Liverpool.
So you think Liverpool have done it as far as reaching the final is concerned? 5-2 enough to get them to
absolutely,
Kiev
I'm
to the
saying,
final,
yeah.
where they will face either Real Madrid or Bayern Munich. Can they do it? Can they win it?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, I think so. I don't think any of them teams would want to play Liverpool like that. You know, especially in a one-off game. In a one-off game, and of course, you have to look at the ease in which Dzeko lost Lovren. You have to look at that. Because they've got players, especially if you've got Real Madrid or Toni Kroos with time on the ball, Modric and time on the ball, and then Ronaldo peeling off of someone like Lovren, that's going to be a problem. So those are the problems that they're going to have, but of course they can
Yeah,
beat
they
them.
do have problems.
Before we move on, quick word on Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who looked like he suffered a really nasty injury.
Yeah.
We talked about the circumstances in which Wijnaldum came on.
Oh, distraught with that I was. I was gutted to see that, because how well it's gone for him since he's gone there. You know, he's had to take a lot of stick leading into it. You know, I saw the memes on social media when he first got there. Now you're not seeing anything because he's
Rewind
silenced.
that. What was
The meme, like the jokes about him when he gave the ball away and cost
Giving away
40
my age,
minutes.
really?
Giving the ball away. And to see how he's progressed under clock to this point, to then get an injury like that so early in the game, I was absolutely devastated for him.
No, we wish him a very speedy recovery, of course.